Bailey, just being able to come back from that Texas game and then being able to finally put one through there. I guess what was kind of going through your mind there when that ball went through the uprights?
In moments like that, it's all just kind of a blur until the ball's in the air. But I mean, I knew when I hit it. You can usually tell when you hit it, and I was like, okay. But I was a little bit nervous because I did miss twice at Texas. There's really no excuse for it, but basically I just decided to relax, trust it, and it all fell back into place.
Bailey, what happened at Texas? Was it something with technique, or did you mishit the ball, or what did you try to correct last week before heading into the Grambling game?
Really at Texas, I just didn't trust myself. I was trying to play too careful, and when you try to play too careful, it usually makes it worse, and it did. So my coaches and my family and my loved ones and my teammates really helped me. They're like, you were the only one in the stadium that didn't think this was going through. And I was like, okay. So they're like, Grambling, just relax, let your leg do it for you, and that's kind of what I tried to do.
Bailey, real quick, it's a kicker subject, but not you. What did you think about Will Lutz's kick last night for the Saints?
I didn't actually watch the game, but I saw the highlight, and he crushed it. It was a big ball.
All right, so now back to you. Obviously, take us into the mind of a kicker because we've all got opinions on them, and you're the guy playing the position. Do different environments and backgrounds, like obviously you're familiar with kicking it here. You look like the Brett Hale we're used to seeing. In Texas, it wasn't. Like, talk about, do different environments and different backdrops affect the kicking?
Not really, a little bit. You just kind of, usually you just pick something out behind the posts and aim at it. You kind of just focus in on one little spot. Like, I usually, out there, the buildings behind it, I usually pick out like a little light up in there. At Texas, I picked something out on the scoreboard. You just pick out somebody's shirt in the stands. And that's really all you look at. You look at it for like a second, and then you don't look at it again until you see if the ball's flying at it after you kick it.
Hey, the solid performance you had on Saturday, how could you use that going forward the rest of the year?
I felt a lot better Saturday. After the game, obviously. I just try to keep doing the same thing, just try to be myself and trust my form, technique, trust my leg a little bit. Try not to get back to where I was at Texas. Try not to be too careful, trying to place it too much. Just picking a spot out and letting it rip.
Amik, you're pretty active on social media, and it looks like you read a lot of the articles that are said about some of the best players in the country, about yourself. So I'll ask you, are you the best cornerback in the country?
In my eyes, yes. I would say I'm the best cornerback in the country because I work so hard. I don't think nobody in this NCAA, I don't think anyone in my position in college work as hard as me, and they don't focus. I could tell, I look at a lot of football. I don't see them focus on the little things. I focus on the little things. But at the end of the day, I can't say it until I prove myself, and each and every day I try to prove myself.
You look at lists, and they talk about some of the top players in the country, and that's why I asked, and you're left off of it. Are you use that as a chip on your shoulder and motivation?
Well, yeah, I would say that's part of it. Where I come from, man, is people don't make it this far. So I had a chip on my shoulder my whole life. They just add that extra edge. I would say they just add that extra edge.
Amik, through 2 games, schematically, what's been the most encouraging thing on the defensive side of the ball?
I would say us being able to be very resilient and be able to come back, and also staying together as one. When we down, everybody's doubting us. We able to come together and be able to communicate to one another to let everybody know that we all right. We just got to keep stay together and keep fighting.
Hey, in the second half of that Grambling game, what was the most difficult about stopping that Grambling up-tempo offense in the second half?
I would say not really nothing. We had a couple of communications, but that's something we could fix. you know, Grambling's a great team. They just came in, you know, with a chip on their shoulder, and in the second half they came with a great game plan.
Meek, you're hitting the road, traveling up to Bowling Green for Saturday's game. Just talk about the matchup. What's in film study, what's kind of stuck out?
They're kind of a run team. You know, each week we face different teams, but we have that same preparation. So, like I said, we just got to go to practice, focus and ready to tackle, and go to practice each and every day, ready, being prepared to prepare and being focused. And also looking at the little things, because they do a lot of shifting, so we got to have good eyes.
See the defensive performances Bowling Green has had the last 2 weeks. I think giving up 52 points to who they played last week, and they gave up 48 in week 1. Is it kind of a little refreshing seeing Bowling Green's defense not really play the way they should?
I mean, I can't really vouch for Bowling Green defense. Only defense I can vouch for is Louisiana Tech. And I know Louisiana Tech's defense is going to go into Bowling Green game with the same edge we going to every game, and that's to dominate.
Looks like when their quarterback does kind of get rushed, he can kind of have a tendency to just kind of throw the ball up there. Are you kind of licking your chops there to kind of grab your first interception of the game, or what's kind of the feeling there, seeing their quarterback when he gets rushed around there?
As a defense, we just got to take advantage of those opportunities. I know our guys up front will be able to, you know, give the quarterback pressure. So when he do throws those 50-50 balls or those, you know, throw up balls, we got to be able to take advantage of that and take advantage of the opportunity to make plays on the ball.
Meek, how?
This is a Bowling Green run.
They're more of a run team, wing, lot of wing, I formations, a lot of, I would say, 20 personnel. So that's strongly run. You know, that's strongly a run team. So like I said before, we just got to be able to have good eyes because they do a lot of shifting and being able to tackle.
Meek, is it beneficial and eye-opening for the defense to have a scare against Grambling State? They're in the home opener last week. Is that something that you guys feel like you can use as some form of a motivating tool for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I would say, of course, they have to motivate us because people on the outside expected us to win by more than 20, you know. But at the end of the game, the most important goal is to win the game. Like I said before, we just got to go. I mean, we was able to go in there, watch film, be able to critique our mistakes, and all we can do now is just move forward and focus on Bowling Green. Yeah, when I heard it, you know, my opinion, when I heard it, I kind of enjoyed it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that Grambling game, man, it was kind of tough for me. That heat, you know, being able to fight through it. So in that Bowling Green game, when we heard about the weather, we kind of was excited about it. You know, at the end of the day, man, we just ready to play.
Meek, did anything this past Saturday against Grambling State, did it surprise you at all via athleticism or the things that they tried to do, or any particular players? I mean, did anything kind of surprise you or stick out to you?
Not really, because I trust my eyes, you know, and I trust the defensive coordinator and my position coach Burris. You know, he was able to point out the little things and where Grambling was going to be able to scheme out. So I wouldn't say nothing really surprised me. The only thing that did surprise me was how they didn't give up, you know, and I respect Grambling for that because they didn't give up. They stayed together and they kept fighting.
I'm a little disappointed that Teddy Allen couldn't stick around. He just came for the lunch and the players, and then bolts. By the time I get to the podium, I'm a little disappointed. Let me say it's great to win. It's always nice to win. To come out of the first home game this season, to come out with the win is a very nice feeling. It was an awkward game. It was an awkward that it was a kind of a tale of two halves. We came out, and I thought our team was really focused, thought they were dialed in. It was 20-0 at half. We had 265 yards to their 140, I think is what it was. I mean, it was a game that we felt really good about with where we are. I thought the offense played well. The defense had given up 9 first downs, no points, was doing a nice job defensively. And I thought our special teams, which was strong all day, I thought our special teams, the way Bailey Hale and Brady Farlow kicked the ball, especially, it was nice to see Bailey Hale come back after his performance at Texas and to go for 2 for 2 on field goals. And then I thought Brady Farlow did an excellent job of punting the ball. He got great height on the ball. There was no return yards in it. And I thought some guys really stepped up in the dirty dozen. When you start talking about guys like Ezekiel Barnett, I can't say enough about Darrell Lewis, a senior that was the starting safety at one point, who now has been delegated to a backup role as a safety, but yet he's starting on every special team and he's playing his tail off. It's an unbelievable story of a completely unselfish young man who has really bought into the program, wants to do whatever he can to help this football team, and it's been nice to watch. It was nice to see Smoke Harris get involved in special teams, to get him moving along as a redshirt freshman, and to see Michael Sam, who really got his first taste of punt return so far as a punt returner here at Louisiana Tech. So there were a lot of positives in the special teams. Came in at halftime, felt really good about things offensively, defensively. Came out in the second half, took the opening drive, went right down the field, got to the 4-yard line, 6 plays, 60 yards I think is what it was, and then went forward on a 4th and goal. Probably should have kicked a field goal, 4th and 1 rather, on the 4-yard line. Probably should have kicked a field goal, but I went for it thinking that if we could make it 27-0, we didn't make it, and they took the ball and went 96 yards and put the ball in the end zone. I thought Grambling came out with a renewed sense in the second half. It's a very proud program. I thought they played really well in the second half. For their quarterback, made great decisions as advertised, very hard to tackle. Very seldom does the first guy get there, going to get him on the ground. That was true in the Monroe game. That was true in our game. I thought he threw the ball very accurately. He took what the defense gave him. I thought he played an excellent football game. I thought he did a really nice job with what they were doing offensively. And then I kind of went into a run mode to burn the clock with the heat to try and get out of there. And you know what? Probably in hindsight, probably should have left things wide open. We only threw the ball 6 times in the second half, and it turned into a very competitive game. And I give Grambling an awful lot of credit for that as a football team. They're going to win a lot of football games, and I said it up here last week. Coach Fobbs has done an excellent job. He's been Coach of the Year 4 out of the last 5 years that he's been there, and he does a great job with that program. It was a Lincoln Parish battle that's never been seen before, of 2 teams right here in Grambling and Louisiana Tech having the opportunity to play in Lincoln Parish. So it was excited to come out with a win. Anytime you can win and correct your mistakes, it's a positive thing. So we got some things that we can learn from and we can grow from. We're still learning about our football team as we come out of this game. I do want to take a second and kind of put thoughts and prayers out to Dan Fields, his family. The injury that he sustained on our sideline, the surgery that he went through on Sunday night, that we are thinking about him. Our players have a couple times come to see me and said, Coach, is there anything that we can do for him? I think there's a lot of mutual respect amongst the 2 programs. And like I said, our thoughts and prayers are certainly with him for a speedy recovery with everything he's going through. He's a great player. You hate to see anybody get hurt, but especially the ugliness of that one that happened there on our sideline. So he's definitely in our thoughts and prayers, and we're hoping for a speedy recovery for him. Coming out of that, like I said, I don't know that we could write a better script for our football team. It was there's no probably, it was the quietest our locker room has been after any win since I've been here. I don't know if it was the heat zapping all the energy. I know the game ended, and we went to our band, as we always do, to sing the alma mater, and there was no band. And the Jumbotron was playing the alma mater, and one of the players said, Coach, do you want us to go to where the band was or the Jumbotron? I mean, it was a different scenario. It was very unique with the heat, which I don't know what it was on the field, somewhere between 130, 150 degrees. But when you went in the locker room, boy, it was really quiet. It didn't have there wasn't a lot of celebration to it. It was a win, but I think our players know that we can play much better than we did Saturday. And that's why I said I don't think that we could write a better script to be sitting here 1-1, to come out of a Texas game where we made a lot of mistakes. We turned the ball over. Then we did a lot of things. We gave up big plays. We did the things that get you beat. It was nice to see the progress we made from week 1 to week 2 as we came out last week. We did not have a turnover on offense. We didn't give up the big plays for scores. We kept the ball in front of us. We were defensively, they were 1 out of 4 in the red zone and scoring. I thought we did a lot more. We played a lot smarter in this game than we did week 1, but I don't think they were real excited about it. I don't think they were overly jubilant or joyous in the locker room. And I think that right now they're excited to come to work and get ready to go play Bowling Green this week. They know it's going to take a better effort with the schedule that we play to be the team that we want to be. This week, looking at Bowling Green, we have some pretty good challenges in front of us right now. For sure, when you look at Bowling Green, they have a new coach, a new staff. He comes from Bowling Green. A couple things when you look at him offensively, he prides himself on tempo. He's trying to run 100 plays a game. They also play with very big personnel. It's going to be completely different than anything we've seen, and that they're going to play with 2 and 3 tight ends. They're going to make your DBs and your safeties play linebacker and edge control. They want to run the ball for 400 yards. They want to control it. It's probably a lot like playing a military school with the wishbone, and they play with a lot of tempo. They want to run the ball for 400 yards. They want to go as fast as they can. They want to create disruption and having gaps uncovered. Their running backs run downhill. They're big. They're physical. They're a Midwest school. They play big physical offensive line. They play a physical brand of football. They try and hit you in the mouth, bloody your nose, and go really quick and keep the pressure on you for 60 minutes. Hard to tell how good either team is going to be. We both have won against a 1AA opponent, an FCA opponent. We both got beat by a Power 5. So I think we're still learning a lot about our teams, and kind of excited to get up there and play the game. Defensively, again, they're physical. We haven't seen them defend much against the spread sets, although Brian Van Gorder, their defense coordinator, has been at Notre Dame, Louisville, Georgia. A little history with him. I mean, he's done a lot of different things, a lot of different places he's been. So I know that he's got an awful lot in his smorgasbord of defenses that he can throw out at us. It's just going to be how much he's put in at this point. So don't really know what to expect defensively. We just got to worry about our team. It's going to take a better effort than we played last week, and it's going to definitely take a more physical effort than we played last week. But excited to get back onto the practice field for another week where we have a chance to get a little bit better and hopefully settle in to what we're going to become as an offense and a defense.
Hey, Coach, saying what you said about Bowling Green's offense with the way your defense handled the up-tempo style of play Grambling had in the second half, is there a concern going into the Bowling Green game about their up-tempo style of offense?
No, and I don't think it was so much the tempo in the second half. Like I said, they ran tempo in the first half too. Grambling did. I think it's completely different because that one was lining up and getting in space. We've got to do a great job of getting the calls in a little bit quicker because for our players, with it being a new defense, they've got to kind of figure it all out. They got to get the call, see the formation, get lined up. This week, it's more where's the 2 tight ends, the 3rd tight end, the fullback. It's almost like playing everybody in the box. So it's going to be a little bit different situation. It's going to be more gap control than it's going to be man. You know what I mean? Where some of what we did with Grambling last week. So, Grambling ran tempo in the first half as well. When I thought we adjusted to it, we gave up 140 yards in the first half and no points. I just think both sides, it was a tale of 2 halves for sure.
Skip, schematically, what's been the most encouraging thing about the defensive side of the ball through 2 games?
I think they're getting a getting a better understanding. We didn't have as many missed assignments this week as we did the week before. We didn't have as many missed tackles as we did at Texas. I still don't think we are as aggressive as we need to be, but I do feel like we're getting better. I do feel like there's signs of progress. This is going to be a journey. I mean, there's a lot of reasons when you get a new coordinator and new terminology. It takes a while to get everybody situated, and for our players to learn the defense, and for our staff to learn what our players do best in the defense. And so I think for us right now, I mean, I think it's just the signs of progress week in and week out. We were in position to make a lot of plays. We seemed to play a little bit more tentative. I don't know if it was, like I said, I'm not making any excuses. Was it the heat? Did we dial our dial down at halftime a little bit? I don't know what that was, but we didn't play very aggressive. There were a number of times we were in the hole. We stopped our feet. We were not as attacking as we would like to be, and that's where we got to keep getting better as a football team and as a defense. But I do think that there's signs of progress and some things moving forward that if we can continue to get better at, I think we have a chance to be a pretty good defense.
The progression of Courtney Wallace. I know he's able to go 70 snaps Saturday.
70 snaps. I mean, here was a guy that used to weigh 350 pounds, and he's down to 300. Playing physical. He was our pit bull. He was our MVP defensively. Played a great football game. Was physical. Sat in the middle. Held his gap. Really did a nice job. I think Courtney has really taken the next step to evolve from that backup player that he's been since he's been here, a guy that was maybe a little bit overweight, broke his foot a second time, now has come back, now gets his opportunity to start, and he's making the most of it and playing really well. He's doing some great things for us on the defensive line.
Skip, how would you just describe the progression of Malik Stanley?
Malik Stanley continues to wow. Made a great catch down the middle of the field, but has an awful lot of things on film that we got to get better at. He had a penalty where he was moving earlier and a big gain early in the game where he wasn't quite set. He had another one where he missed a block at the point of attack. I mean, a couple little things, but he's got to get better at doing some of the little things, but continues to wow with his talent. He's played 3 different positions for us at receiver right now. He's very, very smart. As a new player that's come in here, he's learned the offense. He's picked it up. He's played the inside spots. He's played the outside spot. He's really doing a nice job. And him and Griffin Hebert have been kind of settling into a great combination, 1-2 punch there in the middle. Both of them have made some key plays for us in the last 2 games. I think the 2 of them have – they have 3 touchdown catches, 3 or 4 big plays. They've really done a nice job, both of them. But Malik Stanley's really impressed me with the way he's picked it up, his hands, the way he's catching, and the way that he competes every day.
Coach, watching the Bowling Green Kansas State game, looks like they can be kind of susceptible to some fold blocks, some pulling guards. What have you kind of seen on the rush game, or the rush defense at least, on that attacking that end?
Yeah, I mean, the hard part for us is we're not a big power football team. To be a team that's going to pull guards, kick out, most of them, you look at Kansas State, they're playing with a lot of fullback, a lot of tight end, pulling 2 guards. I mean, that's more of their game. When you look at probably what we're learning about our team a little bit more is, what can we do in the running game? Are we a zone team? Are we a gap team? What can we do efficiently with the tackles and the guards that we have right now? I think that's really what we're still trying to identify. We came out in the second half trying to run the ball, a little bit more of zone schemes, which obviously did not work out for us very well, and we weren't near as efficient as we would like to be in the run game, especially in the second half when we went to it almost exclusively in the second half. So we got to continue to find our identity and what we can do as an offense, what we can do to run the ball, what we can do to throw the ball. We've done a little bit of all of it. We've had some run game. We've had some play action passing game. We've had some drop back. We've had some screen game. We just got to really find out right now with this group of players where we're best suited. And I think, as we talked about in the Texas game, the number of players that are catching balls for us right now, people are doing an awful lot trying to take away Adrian Hardy. There was one play that Grambling triple teamed them. They dropped a linebacker out. He was the only guy on that side of the field, and they dropped a linebacker underneath. They set the corner hard on the outside and took the safety over the top and triple teamed them. And that's why a guy like Griffin Hebert is wide open down the middle of the field, because people are trying to take him away. So I think you're going to see probably a lot more people involved in the passing game. I think Jamar's doing a really good job of protecting the ball. It's been 2 games. He really hadn't put the ball in danger yet. He had the one interception that got deflected from one of the defenders on the line of scrimmage, a ball that was batted. But I think it's him just reading the defense, taking what defense has given us, and make sure that we can utilize all the different talents and weapons that we have. But in the running game at this point, Kansas did what Kansas does, or Kansas State did what Kansas State does, and that's play a tight end, a fullback, gap schemes, bloody your nose, really run downhill, and I thought they did a really nice job of executing their game plan on Saturday against Bowling Green. It's not, I don't want to be the jack of all trades and the master of none and try and say, oh, well, they did that, so we're going to do that. We got to be who we are, and that's certainly one of the things that we're still trying to identify as we go through this season on offense and defense.
Skip, how close do you feel like Jaquise is, close to getting back to the Jaquise that we all know?
I hope sooner rather than later. When you watch him run with the ball, he's back. I think, I don't know what those averages were Saturday, but it's almost like he averaged 11 yards a carry and the other running backs were around 4, and we're running the same plays. I think Jaquise brings a vision and explosiveness, fast twitch, hitting holes, being able to find open windows and getting himself in space. And he does a really nice job. I'm excited to get him back and get him healthy and get him full speed. He's been limited at practice during the week, which is one of the reasons that he's been so limited on game day. His weight's down a little bit. We got to try and get his weight back up and get him healthy again, where he can have a full week of practice, where he can go out and play a bigger role for us as a tailback. I think Justin's running hard. Justin Henderson's running hard. I think Izzy Tucker's running hard. But right now, Jaquise just brings a flash and a kind of, ooh, wow, that's a different speed, to the offense right now, that I definitely think we need his big play threat coming out of the backfield. So hopefully it's this week. I know, like we talked about last week, was 130, 40, 50 degrees, whatever that was on the field. This week we're looking at a high of 76, so I would hope that it would definitely play a little bit more in the conditioning favor of our players this week over last week. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Have a great day.